in Austria, while the UK is stationed in Faro. So it's returning to Faro. When it gets back to Faro, it will fly this afternoon to London Gatwick. Just lining up to depart is another 17-year-old Airbus operated by EGCC. This one it's a UK registered Airbus and it's an A320, so it has 86 passengers. And this one is on its way to Pavesa, which is in Greece, quite a place for sailing. People go out and sail around the Aegean Sea for a few days. They can see the Aegean Sea on that side. So this aircraft's got quite a busy day, just looking. It's came this morning, it's got, as we mentioned, it's already been to Paris, Charles de Gaulle and back. Now it's on its way to Pavesa, and when it gets back after lunch, it will do a flight this evening to Pavesa.
It's got a really good.
We saw it yesterday from in, didn't we?
Hello, Adam.
Yeah, it's the private one.
one is a rainy.
Yeah, it is. The Jana Air, Red Route, the Jan, that one, is Rental Ruby Livery is going. The Cafe Pacific is going. And there's also two that's not on the radar. And this is the Ryanair coming in.
Good.
Just landed. It's a Ryanair 737. It is bound from Madrid. We'll be taking 737 quite a bit today. 737 is the best-selling airline. Prior to the Masters, 737 800. The most modern these Masters. That aircraft alone has sold more than all the other markets put together. 77, 800 quite a lot today. And it's sort of one of those aircraft. You can tell the difference between 77, 800 and the MAX aircraft. To look at the engine, nice soft board, but the engine caliber back is quite straight. So we see the MAX aircraft have a look again, which is quite a solid head. The way it works that out, the winglet on that aircraft, which is Ryanair, they look the same, not quite. Okay.
Make sure you're not.
And moving on to Ryanair, they
Nice one, mate. They got 10 quid in. Oh. Wait, the girl's outside. I'll pay. 17 quid. You definitely go. You are getting used to drinks. You definitely get about 7 quid still there.
Let's have a controller to the landing aircraft. The pilot will then need to talk to the ground, in which case you may also know which way it's going. We'll go there.
I'm going to south side of the north. Yo, the fence is going James! And one coming in. This one? James.
Can I stand here?
Oh, the camera's dying. I've got another battery. I've got another battery. Yes. Yes. Might take the top off me, by the way. Die hard, wait. This way we need to go get the Sky. This way we need to go watch the pod. No, I'll pay that. It's now 88. Oh, damn. Yeah. Oh, damn. Oh, no. Oh, my God.
What one's that, Shed?
Just over here.
Just touching down one of our transatlantic widebodies. Pre-COVID, we had quite a few operators based in the United States and Canada, and COVID, we pitched off those routes, and none of the American airlines have come back, and the only aircraft operating across the States are UK airlines. But Canada, we have 6 nights a week air transat flight is landed here like 2:30. Air transat, a charter of low cost Canadian airline, 39 aircraft in the fleet. They've got 24 of the smaller Airbus D321s, but they can use those in the transatlantic flights. And they've got 15 of the larger Airbus D330s, and the aircraft that's just landed is an A330, 17 years old. And numbers of seats, it's got 12 business class seats and 333 economy seats. Also, we've got UK made engines, it's got the Rolls-Royce engines. This A330 is the smaller of the two versions. It's an A330-200. We will see A330-300 takeoffs later on. That'll be, I think we'll probably see a one-off version Atlantic and a higher airline, A330-300. We'll also see another of the two A330-200 well, near delivery on the best later of Jet TV. We have other airlines who operate with other airlines. That's Canada. That's like already been planted today. We've had some service utilising those Boeing 787. However, I believe October, early the winter season, that's going to a year-round service. About 5 days a week, operating an A321 XLR.
Hello, James.
Those of you interested in aircraft incidents, the latest program on National Geographic called Accident Investigation. And one of these air transats going back probably 20 years now was flying from Canada to Portugal as capital of Portugal Lisbon of the Atlantic. And there was an issue with one of the fuel pipes, and they started to lose fuel. The pilots realised they were losing fuel. The aircraft actually ran out of fuel with Atlantic and became a big collider. And they luckily were within 100 miles from the Azores, Portuguese Azores Island, and the aircraft landed almost 100 miles from the successful landing in the Azores. No one was injured, they just checked a few tires. And luckily, the captain was an experienced glider pilot.
It's not even the 5 minutes you make it out. No, it's an hour. It's not. It's 40 minutes. If we work it out, it's an hour. Yeah, because we sports at 2 miles per hour. Me and Jacob were at the shop by the time we were still out. Oh, yeah, we were at the shop.
Yeah,
Still, Canadian Airlines do like that sounds obviously things but two very notable events, two very well flown given what happened.
Not taken up. Fucking mongrel. Hey, come on, bye.
So I'll put the change on.
Just backing out, we have a very short with
It's still pretty dead.
the operating out of our mainland Chinese destination. China Airways because a couple of aircraft in front of that union, it's Cathay Pacific A350-900 on its way out of Hong Kong. Of course, it's no Chinese. This is what it's an island, because it's not quite part of mainland China. So we'll talk about that when it starts. Just arrived and just packed the passengers. There's a nice one there.
I don't know where to ask. It's like Southside to
Granddad said, what
From Remis. That is the main airport. However, there is a downtown airport called Remis. That just deals with internal flights. Used to have one. Sorry, flight. When it went out to Farnham. Just talk about program.
I only get don't edit from outside.
This Monday, we're going to take A321 inbound from
These big ones.
and so this is talking about two airports. So the two airports in Istanbul as well. The main airport is on the European part of the continent, and that's where Turkish Airlines has their base. The normal airport will have 10 runways when it's complete.
Round about tomorrow, I
And
know.
we'll see Turkish Airlines, but I would imagine not that long. They just say at their base at the EGCC, which is a secondary airport. For example, based on the I say secondary airport, it's just secondary to Istanbul, because it has around 40 million passengers per annum. So it's not exactly a small airport. Manchester's currently running about 31 a bit, I think. So it's quite a bit in excess of Manchester. And it's a big attention thing. Almost from there.
Said that yesterday.
Yeah. What do you do on your wedding about
Yeah,
that work? I seen a bit.
I don't know how he gets away with it. I wouldn't.
Just about to turn left, going to do forward departure. Look after safety is the newest.
You're the one who knows.
Different car. It's not necessarily regional, is it? Exactly, but different cars.
Well, no, I'll accept that.
Jacob
wants to walk.
You can operate contract.
There's no way you do a 10-mile ride. No, he doesn't. He doesn't. So that one over there.
Oh, should we go and have a drink?
I suppose. Should we call? Should we prank call Remy? I was going to.
I'm not 100% sure, but it's
I'm going to get this out.
potentially like a cafe to be next to the lineup.
Yeah. What time is it?
Like they,
It's like 25%.
22. They operate
You can do what we want.
services out of Manchester.
No, you can take them. And if you get them wrong, I'll don't. No, you can take them.
Let me get my flash.
The safety distance for Manchester Hong Kong, 5,987 miles. And the scheduled flight time is 12 hours and 20 minutes. Well, that's my course, and we'll just have to have a project from right. Yeah, it's like 60. Also, one way there.
Put it down next to
Do that project from right. Project from right, next flight has just been done. After 24 hours and 1 minute.
No, that's a shot.
Everybody fancy that?
I like that. Oh, I knew it. Maybe. She's hot. She's coming in. Got her on TikTok.
Something hazy.
Maybe. Maybe some like TVs. You don't even think no, she's hanging out. I think she's
It's just waiting. It's down, please.
She's a bit shy though, isn't it?
No photos.
She is.
where it is.
Probably once.
Probably is popular.
I'm just about to see it.
Whatever by my house.
I've heard it's seen that as well. So,
I don't even
I
know.
know, but no one's spotting.
Right, so, yo, I've got deep on now.
Do it whenever.
Good south side, 2 out, 15.
Really not, guys. I can't take that the way is the way. Small aircraft at Israel. That particular aircraft is similar additions to our Dublin
I fell over it.
Did something over it?
It's this whole thing. It's in Liverpool. Oh yeah, it's only 6 quid.
Oh, free.
Wait, you put wood lane. Wood and lane. Well, she can't do that. Fucking no bed. I wish you. What's this called? North Cheshire Way. Is it in Knutsford or Altrincham?
Knutsford. Knutsford's like a town.
No, it's not. It's the Altrincham. No, that's Altrincham. It's Knutsford. Knutsford's below the airport. It's like helpful. No, it is. He's right. Yeah, that's how. That's what it's sit down.
Before taking a departure, we're going to see
Wood lane.
get there another 77,800 and then you put another line flight.
Not Airport in Manchester. Oh yeah, I know that is.
flight time shows exactly what airlines do, not just what airlines do nowadays.
Britannia Airport is.
The schedule departure for this aircraft was 9:09. This is,
Yeah, it's not in it, I'll you know that.
yeah, please.
Oh.
Not well, 9:09.
Yeah.
With the
Yeah, it's
schedule around
3.95. 'Did you realise that's still ages away from where we need to go? Or airport, it's like a 10-minute walk. Yeah. But we know that there's a roundabout at the end and we go, oh, it's like a 2-minute walk from that.
So the aircraft is taxing out.
So, you know, one more heavy.
UAV engine aircraft type. This is an Embraer E195 E2. In the hands of KLM on its way out eventually, once it gets to the queue. Back to home later after that.
It's a real life. It's crazy, I was waking up like that. Actually, no, I'm not probably with Podstar. I'm a bad question.
Oh no. I don't mind if you want.
Just starting takeoff for one of our locally based aircraft called Aircraft 2. Recently, this is the TV, this aircraft is 11 years old, operating flight BY114 from Montego Bay, which is in Jamaica. TUI operates from Manchester with a mixed fleet of 737s on the charter route. They then have the 787, which is the long route on the charter route as well, very flexible aircraft. TUI UK, the airline goes back a year,
Why don't we ask how much it was to South?
to the days of Britannia Airways, before that it was Eurasia. Britannia was formed in 1964, stayed as Britannia for years, then rebranded as Thompson Flight, Thompson being the holiday home, the travel agency that have that flight. But they then, after with British Airways, became part of the TUI group, and they're TUI UK, which is based. TUI is based in Frankfurt. The TUI UK has 76 aircraft, a mixed fleet of 737s and Boeing 787, total of 13 Boeing 787. In fact, the first one, one of the ones they purchased, is just in retirement, just at the age of 12 years old, which is quite young for an aircraft. I saw that last week when I was down at Kemble, where they bring aircraft up. Still pretty much intact, they've taken the engines off, and they were just in the process of taking the rudder off. Because of supply chain issues over various companies, aircraft now are actually becoming more valuable in bits than they are at home, which will almost certainly be why the youngster of 12-year-old aircraft has been broken off, not to scrap, but to be put back into the system as spare parts for other aircraft. And two aircraft on the runway at the moment. First one departing, already mentioned by Martin. Lufthansa, makes to 100 years of age this year. We started in Munich like earlier. This is like DL943. DL now the middle age because it's a subsidiary of Lufthansa. It's called Lufthansa City that do some of their shorter European flights. The other aircraft that was at full length is another Remis 737. We've got a lot of another Remis 737. This one is the Maltese subsidiary of Ryanair, who is registered in Malta. At the moment, operating flights out of Girona in Spain, and that is flight FR3212 back to Girona. Still quite busy at the moment. There's not many inbounds, but there is quite a few outbounds. And those of you aren't regulars, but notice we're just using one runway at the moment, although we do have two runways here at Manchester Airport. So they have scheduling times for the runways. Generally, runway 2, the far runway, is used in the busy periods. In the summer, that's Monday to Friday, basically all day. At the weekends, they do restrict the time a bit more. Runway 2 was open this morning for 3 hours, closed at 9:30. It will reopen at 1 o'clock local, so from 1 o'clock, actually we won't get as good a view as the departing aircraft. They'll depart from the far runway, and the runway 23 right, the one that's in use at the moment, will continue to use for the inbound.
You're being in front of you.
Those of you waiting for the Emirates inbound, still estimating in about half an hour's time. But yet started to descend, we'll be shortly just past over the area of Stansted Airport towards London. So say estimating 12:03 here. We'll tell you a bit more about the A3 when we get closer. We are going to do a couple of quizzes today for the under 12, so that's 11 and under, and we usually ask at least one question about the A380. So just as it lands, if all you youngsters are standing by, got a small prize, postcard and a sticker for the first 12 correct answers. So those of you who are youngsters, 11 and under, stand by for our quiz. Next to depart is the Embraer 195-2 that I mentioned to you before. It's going to be on its way back to Amsterdam. A very, very general way of looking at things. You can tell aircraft that see re-engines because they're likely to have engines that look a little bit bigger than you might expect them to be. Versus the aircraft around that. So that is a very crude way of looking at it, just to give you an idea.
I'm guessing there's like the back wheels off.
Yeah.
On its way to Mahon on the airlines of Minorca, is EasyJet flight 2031, that's just departed. Mahon summer-only destination is the smallest of the Balearic Islands, and several flights in the summer, but it's not a winter destination. Just landing another of our locally based aircraft, the TUI 737. This is the operated flight BY 773 from Remis, which is on the Iberian coast, again, summer-only destination.
Our aircraft for our flight is 3.5 hours away.
Is it?
Pre-COVID, Manchester Airport would have lots of domestic flights, mainly operated by an airline called Flybe. If you remember, Flybe went out of business just before COVID happened, that was March 2020. And a lot of routes, domestic routes, ended with Flybe. There are still some domestic routes, but much reduced. And the biggest domestic carrier in the UK, internal flights, is now EasyJet, operating over 50 centres internal flights. The second is an airline that's managed to fly since 1962, Scottish Airlines Logan. The aircraft has just landed as flight airline 591, and this is the 12 internet. The aircraft is something we always do. Each time I come to look at the oldest aircraft to operate from the airport. Often 27 years of age is generally possibly the oldest aircraft to operate on some days, and this aircraft is one of those 27-year-old aircraft. Number 145, first flew in 1999 with an airline called British Airways. They then became part of British Group B&I Regional. They suspended operations in 2019. The aircraft was acquired by Logan. Approximately, the aircraft is departed Turkish Airlines 4 flights a day at the moment to Istanbul, the international airport in Istanbul, that's aircraft that's sponsored by TK1994. The route is operated by various aircraft types, such airlines, very large airlines. Istanbul is a very busy airport. Most of the people on that flight will be going onward connections. Such airlines operate a bit like Emirates. Most of their passengers will be going to other parts of the world. It's operated today, not by the normal Airbus A321, but by 737. One of the domestic flights that survived is in fact it's the busiest domestic route of Manchester to Belfast. The Belfast route split between two airports, Belfast Old Road and then the smaller Belfast Harbour. This aircraft is just landed from one of the smaller airports, Belfast Harbour. Right in the middle of Belfast, it's in the old Docklands area. This is operated by an airline called Airlines Regional. This is flight EI3612. The aircraft's got propellers on. It's a turboprop, ideally for the short haul route. The flight should take us 46 minutes. So these propeller aircraft are a lot more fuel efficient over the short sectors these aircraft operate on. They are very noisy on the ground because the way the propellers work. So as it taxis by, you'll see it a lot louder than the jets that taxi by. So we get the popular route. EasyJet operates to Belfast as well. The aircraft is just departed, isn't going to the Belfast Harbour, it's going to the main airport, Belfast Old Road, that's along the runway, and that was EasyJet Airbus A319 on its way to Belfast. EasyJet flight 92. And talking APRs, another APR, this one operated by Loganair. Loganair operates a fleet of FO145, you saw that one line sequence right there. This APR 72 has come down from Aberdeen, like LM25, and it won't go back to Aberdeen. Well, it will do, but before it does that, it's going to go off to Newquay in Cornwall, and that flight takes about an hour. It will come back from Newquay and then go back to Aberdeen. You can actually get on this aircraft to Aberdeen and fly all the way down to Newquay. Some of the flights, this route operates actually start in December and go Aberdeen, Manchester, Newquay, which is the longest domestic flight in the UK. I did this flight myself 2 or 3 weeks ago. Now, the Newquay is very close to airline. Very pleasant staff, comfortable aircraft, good news out the window, and it gets you to Cornwall in just under an hour instead of 6 hours on the M5. Don't forget the time. just rotating is a very dramatic I don't know what I think have a tie-up with Delta Airlines. There's a lot of cooperation between the two airlines, and that cooperation extends very much to this flight. There's an Atlantic base with Delta Airlines that is basically a bit like that. So I would say the majority of people on board that aircraft are not going to take it. They will keep going to the airport. You're going to have to fly and then airlines somewhere else in the US. And back to the Emirates A380, there's a place called Lashbar, which is about 25-30 miles south of the airport. It will reach to navigation control day, which is Maxfield. So we might not see it, it's actually quite a clear day, that's clouds and sound is quite a high level. So point over to Finder, as it lands, we've got a question for the 11 and under about the A380. And that was the Emirates checking in with the radar control. He sits downstairs looking at a radar screen. And one thing he did mention, he expects a 4-minute hold a day, which is the point navigation takes I mentioned Maxfield. It may cancel that hold just due to the several aircraft ahead of it, rather than take it out over the Peak District for a 20-mile final. If it goes around the whole 4 minutes, it will have a shorter final. So if I see it call the day, I'll point it out to you. But it should be moving in about 15 minutes time. Just to keep you up to date, the rover has just landed. We're popping room. Dublin. I've got another line and I've got another popular route, not popular in Dublin, but this time it's far. We go from Blue to Orange next. There is an EasyJet landing, an EasyJet waiting to take off. So the landing aircraft is inbound from Jeddah, north of 1620. EasyJet. It's an all-year-round service here from Manchester with EasyJet. However, during the winter months, the frequency of decreases, so it's very much a destination. That's the aircraft landing just now inbound from the EasyJet big runway. And I can see the Emirates, it's just in the, well, very difficult to see. If you look at the EasyJet that's just landed, if you look directly above it, now there's a black dot going right to left, and that is just turning away, it's directly towards Manchester Airport. When it gets about 10 miles away from the airport, the navigation takes it to the right turn of 180 degrees, and that's what it's doing at the moment. It will say, do that 180-degree turn, fly straight for a minute, do another 180-degree turn, and then go back towards the Maxfield, that's base. And then the controller said it was just going to do that now once the pilot, it then will turn towards the 10-mile final for runway 23 right. So from the landing EasyJet that was Geneva to the departing EasyJet, which is very sharp to go. I wasn't sure what the route for this aircraft, but one that came to for the airline. Starting EasyJet. Very sharp to go. Just landing 737 Max 8 or an 8100. I'm going to let you on your trip because an 88 is really difficult. Yeah, if you look, if you just look to the left of where there are areas, in fact, if you just look to the southeast, you can't miss the A380. That is in the Holden Dane and it's again just turning outbound. The aircraft I was looking at earlier might have actually been another aircraft in the Holden Dane, that's definitely the A380 turning away. For those of you who don't know where the north and south is, straight ahead of you across the runway towards the left-hand side, you'll see the aircraft turning away from the south. I'm talking about the aircraft turning away from us, the aircraft just turned left, going down towards the departure point. Indigo 787-9. That aircraft will be going out to Mumbai. Unfortunately, with the arrival of the chief executive at Indigo, all of their local flights have now been pulled off from one of the operating market aircraft. So this service will be finishing at the end of this month, going on to the Indigo. Very much on. Just landing an aircraft inbound from Istanbul. Turkish Airlines, mentioned to you a little while ago that you have Turkish Airlines flying from the main airport on the European side, very large runway airport with Pegasus from the EGCC, this is called the main airport. We'll see a number of these flights today. Turkish and Turkey, or Istanbul particularly, between the two, they are buying to get quite a lot of the east-west-west traffic because of geographically where they are, a little bit closer to the Atlantic coast, but still that's what they're aiming today. Turkish Airlines has the largest number of Europe destinations of any airline, or international destinations, I should say. So again, a lot of people on these flights will not necessarily be going to Istanbul. Just to give us an example, I flew on that flight about a year or so ago now. And when we arrived in Istanbul, all but 6 of us went through to the transit area. In other words, they were getting another flight to go somewhere else. So just 6 out of the whole aircraft of the aircraft was just like this. We went elsewhere rather than not this one. If you look where we saw the aircraft before, that's another aircraft in the hall, that's actually like BY2781, a 737 from the home. But what's happened is several inbound have arrived at the same time, because they're only using one runway and they have to put gaps between the inbound aircraft or departures, aircraft because of delays normally less than 10 minutes, and the aircraft say eventually will say. The airline has been given a heading of more away from the hull, so I'll point that out again when we see it. So the Airbus will be about 10 minutes from London. We're working it to way, very often you'll get a nice way back. And particularly from the KLM crew, they actually open the window and give you a really good way. We've got this circular line coming past us. Let's have a look at back of it. And that's stylized grey bit. That's the unit. Which is actually a natural flower. I don't know if that's going to be that's a view. You don't have it. I would get your movement. I can't show you a picture. It just looks rather more like something else. It just shows what your thoughts are and what it wants to tell us. Yeah, another price. If you take that, was actually by Everett Airlines. I'm operating their regional fleet with another airline for considerable time now. Just been raised by these individual airlines. Basically, those being snowball jets. It's Airways. This is not on service on its own, although it is on service from its home country. Because it's the last Linate, the city airport in Milan, the airport closest to the city of the three in Milan. We've got Roman Fence, the main one, which has another network flight. And then you've got the last Takeoffs, which is for really called Ryanair low-cost flight. But I think because it is to get from the level. Well, it looked like a 50 scale, sorry about that. We'll come back to it. It's A320. It is operating for the EGCC, which is like the hospital.
And then
it's just caught just in the middle of take over back hopefully that will steadily fit and they will continue to go from that because without the being jet right now, we're not going to get the places from not the money that we've been getting. Just landing from the secondary airport in Brussels, that's Brussels Congo, is where flight 8223 and Boeing 737. And just as a stop port, after that will be another airline from Marseille, just over Sutterfield, inbound from Dublin, is another ATR. And then just over the water, so number 4 to land is the Emirates A380. I can see it through binoculars, but with the naked eye, it is pretty difficult to see actually really know where you're looking with the aid of binoculars. So that'll be the A380 landing in just under 10 minutes. And that's the airline closing, heading on to the landing system. So you'll see it shortly to the right, final approach, once the service landing lights on. That aircraft, when we had it initially in the hole, was what's called a turn trade-off for a lot of control secret. When it gets busy, they have a one controller whose job is to make the aircraft actually do the final approach. Actually making between the landing aircraft stays with departure to make those gaps. So again, you look at the landing aircraft just about pushed down, just the 11th one of it, high up, you can just see the Emirates just crossing under the cloud, just about to intercept that line of correct for runway 239.
Before the Indigo lines up for its departure, we're going to have another ride out. It's a 77 Max 8, they call it the 8200. Inbound from Marseille. If you want to have a look at that, the agency come back, I did mention some time ago, the difference between the 77-800 and the Max, one of the biggest things is the rear of the engine cannon. So let's wait until the aircraft comes past us and have a look at the rear of the engine cannon and see what it is. Just lining up, Indigo, F-87-9, forward in, down to Dubai. The aircraft is actually operated by North Atlantic. They're an ACMI organisation. So they provide aircraft and crew on different levels to airlines when they're short of capacity. The decision by Indigo to not go long-haul flights, given that there are lots of those flight operators on board, it's going to be quite a blow for them. And if they don't find somewhere to place those aircraft quickly, I suggest you may well be seeing headlines at some point stating that North Atlantic has ceased operation.
And that's the Emirates established on the ILS being told to come back to power, so it will take it very choppy with the tower. And you can see the Emirates quite clearly now on final approach. It's just 5 miles from touchdown. We've got an aircraft, the Indigo departing. Ahead of the Emirates is the landing ATR that is from Dublin. So that's quite a small gap between the ATR and the Emirates. And the Emirates is doing 160 knots. It was told to slow down by the controls. It won't slow down significantly to roll that. That ATR will be doing closer to 100 knots. So that gap will be reasonably tight. There's no way the controller will launch an outbound aircraft. So the Emirates landing in a couple of minutes, and all the 11 years of bowlers come under standby for quick.
And all the old people who are driving the cars, just a quick note is that a lot of people, you look around here, everybody's looking towards the A380. There will be quite a large departure from those aircraft lands. It will be really sensible if it didn't all go at the same time, because you're just going to end up in a queue for at the gatehouse then. So if you can delay departure, I suggest you do so. One of the things to have a look at this aircraft, look at the Concorde angle, look at the shop, look at the protection filter. There's lots of things to have a look at, and you'll just have a much better time on track in a queue and very well down.
And that's the Emirates cleared to land about 2 miles from touchdown. So because it's such a large heavy aircraft, it'll use the significant part of the runway, so it'll steer off to our right, but then it will turn on to the taxiway, and as it connects with customers, we'll get an extremely good view of the aircraft. Tell you a bit more about the A380 once it's on the ground. Those of you interested in it, there's 24-week work that's produced by the Aviation Society here at the airport, and there's an excellent history of the A380 from the old system, but again, we'll tell you about that later. So here it is, it's a 17 just about to touchdown. Come right to the quiz. Okay, 11 years and under. There's a bit of a quiz. First thing you need to do is when the aircraft takes task, we always pilot. The more people away, the more chance that the captain on the left-hand side of the wave platform may often do. The question is, for 11 years and under, in our quiz, how many doors, passenger doors, or total numbers of doors, are there on the 380 and over 380? That's the port side and the starboard side. You'll have to work that out. You want to get the concept exactly right. Don't include the cargo doors, it's just the passenger doors. What you've just pointed out. So I'll be at the bottom of the set. Once you know the answer, you can knock on the door on the lower level of the commentary box. Okay, while we're waiting for the A380 to come past us, the other aircraft just gone past. The latter one is Express 737 MAX 8, which goes away out to Antalya. Turkey and Antalya in particular are very busy destinations. It's actually not quite as busy as it normally is. We've only got 2 Sun Express flights, but about a month ago, after 7 different Sun Express. Antalya, just 3 flights today, again, not a lot, but there are 7 flights out to Turkey. Or at least during the time that we are Rahan is where the 787-8, and it's interesting to have a look at the 787 because you're only going to see the -8, the smallest of the 787 wearing its qualification, at least here at Manchester you will. We'll see Fox 1 and 2 today. 2 were the launch customer in Europe for 787 and 787-8 was that particular aircraft. And the aircraft was delivered to Manchester with quite a large carrier. 2 use these aircraft for long haul and for identity short range. Of course, the whole is something in that category. Just over 2 hours of a flight, just 981 miles. Somebody beats it to the possible destination. Onto that route rather than multiple flights. It also appears that the A380 has been held. Still to get out of front of it. They've got to let that quick compressor to have a wait. Captain's always on the left hand side, although he's fixed wing to this airliner. But if you didn't have a captain, that's over the right hand side. So that's really interesting. Next aircraft at far, EGCC A320 on its way to the German city of Munich.
Dreamliner has a really large cockpit with inside with a lot larger than you'll see on other aircraft. Yeah, it's quite a lot more activities on that side. It's actually now taxing again, so we're going to do that service shortly. Do you remember what that about leaving? Don't think about this, they have to about that. Also, did you have that quick? So it's a product already at your. In that, if I'm the eagle eye, you will notice it's a bit longer because it is an 18 21 usually quite a rare we now have a the aircraft is doing inbound service from Palma. Looks like they're doing navigation in there. What previously called doing. Just checking out an airline lately.
Here's from the Airbus A380. So the number of the doors was actually 16 in total, and because it's such a large aircraft, this Emirates plane was about 550 feet. You need to get them all out in 2 minutes. 90 seconds or less is the rule. So you need a lot of doors. Count them on this side. There are 8, 5 on the lower deck, and 3 on the upper deck. The other side is identical, so that makes a total of 16 doors. We're talking more about the Emirates later than there. Those of you who are interested in aviation, if you've never read it, it's quite a good magazine that comes out each month. I'm voting 55 at the moment, on the 26th, called Wing Words. It's available in the shop. Not too expensive. You remember the Aviation Society getting each front, but there's someone called Stephen Astray who's done a really interesting article on the A380. It's called The Emergence and Decline of the Airbus A380 Superjet. And the reason the way we use the word decline, it actually wasn't really as successful as Airbus 160. They wanted it to last for years, until several hundred. In the end, there were just 254 built. And it first flew in 2005, but production ended in 2020. We'll talk about that later, but if you want to know a bit more, if you buy Wing Words, there's a really interesting article in it this month. And well to Thomas. I don't know where Thomas is now. He was the first person to get the correct answer at 16. Thomas is 11 and he's from Liverpool. This was his second visit to the lovely business park today.
Those of you with Emirates, I'm sure you probably all know, just in case. Quite interesting delivery aircraft interviewed with us in about 500 minutes or so. It's about from Jeddah, and it's the Saudi 787-10 on their standard service, the Saudi 123 service. It's printed in a useful special livery.
Those of you who just watched the A380, if you want to see an even more impressive aircraft, I think last time I checked with reception, we do have some places on our short tour, and there's one starting at 12:30. That's in 10 minutes time. So you want to go on Concorde just 20 minutes, and have a look at Concorde, which you don't do very often. Never seen Concorde by any chance, because often the tours are sold out. Just priced at £6 per person. So it's an ideal introduction to Concorde. Not many of the Concordes around the world are open to the public in the way that they are the House Charlie is here at Manchester.
The aircraft that just departed was a TAP A320, which is on its way back to its home base in the capital of the country, Lisbon. One departure to an arrival at the A320 in front of us, which is in Mount Mercia, and it has taken just short of 2.5 hours to do this.
Yeah. Yeah. So you can do that as well. You can do that as well.
Yeah, I don't have the pod and everything. I just look at the camera.
Yeah, Charlie, about 77 Max 8 just off the road. We've got rotating. It's the phrase that is used when the pilot pulls back from the control unit. I'll say that because it could be a yoke, a joystick, a side stick in there, but the aircraft brings the nose to the aircraft. The aircraft had takes off on the ground. Little interesting fact for you, these aircraft will take off about 15 degrees after the then we'll go down to 10 degrees fairly quickly when it gets to acceleration altitude. And that's that point that you'll feel if you're in the aircraft and it takes off. Occasionally you'll feel that it's just like slow to weight, tiny bit of weight. That's where the aircraft is 15%. Great. The aircraft then needs to accelerate as well as fly. The acceleration when you're accelerating down the runway, what you'll do is first place you have that from forward, just keep your nose on the ground, accelerating up. You'll be steering with your nose work, just get to opening up. You can release that forward pressure, and at that point, you'll be able to use the rudder. There'll be enough authority in this call, there'll be enough wind flow over the rudder to affect it like a movement left and right. You'll then go through what is called V1, which is point of no return, point of which you'll actually decide by when you're going to stop the aircraft. If you try and stop the aircraft after V1, then you're going to run out your runway. The V1 and rotating at point which you take off is normally just a couple of kilometers. Just coming off the runway now, Malaga is where this Ryanair 77 Max 8 or 8200 took off from. It's about 2 hours, 2.5 hours ago. Have a quick look, and then you see those the towers. There's a particular object, have a look at that, at those winglets. You can see that although they are a dual winglet, they are a little bit different to the other one. The other one takes away into 20 points. Another Ryanair. For this time, 77 800. Yeah, that's part of this way out on its outside. Not long ago, we had a express departure down to Amsterdam. And it's on the aircraft is an express. It's a 737 and it's inbound from Amsterdam. So the difference between this is the 737 800.
What? Payment?
to line up, and probably will do. Looking at the distance of the program, it's the basic bound, high 1830, 300.
You got to get no, I don't need the red. No, I don't. I want the. Yeah.
Other people have really what I said earlier about this flight. It's quite an important flight, really. The aircraft is about to depart -3:30. It's on 2038, and that's what the very first time in the UK that Chinese airline has flown to an airport other than London to a mainland China destination.
Yeah, I'm the same. I don't need the red.
That's going to be quite close between the aircraft and party and the aircraft being turned to land.
Saudi.
Yeah, Saudi. It's the esports. Yeah, esports.
We'll see you. All the way across. Hopefully they probably. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm thinking we might do something. No. I'm driving, you're going. We're going. We're going to Aberdeen Airport. No question about it. We are going.
Sorry? 51,000.
Ah, okay. Right, yeah. Yeah, because
inbound from Iceland, so Reykjavik, which is near the capital Reykjavik. Is EasyJet flight number, let me find out in a second. It's, EasyJet flight 222, is just vacating the runway 2017 from Iceland. It's a route that's served by two airlines, which in Iceland there a short while ago. They operate 4 times weekly, and EasyJet operates on Thursdays and Sundays to Kassel.
I think the main chance. Also from the main chance. Just touching down, the second largest airline in Turkey, Pegasus. They basically are like the equivalent to Ryanair, but in Turkey. Lots of Airbus A321s now, some 737s as well. Just operated this flight from the secondary airport in Istanbul. The one to me is 600, but very busy airport, the second airport. About 30 million passengers per year, the same as taken 3 hours and 47 minutes for the flight. In fact, my colleague thinks it's even around 45 seconds on that later. In Europe, not many long-haul flights from there. It's actually in the continent of Asia, to the east of the city centre in Istanbul, whereas the main airport to the north is in Europe. The policy of the way to roll out of the popular destination is birds like myself and three. I think 351,000. A lot of aircraft. It's got 16 business, 56 economy, and 325 economy seats. Also got Rolls-Royce engine transmissions, which is good. Busy route in the summer because Orlando feeds Disneyland. Virgin have got 2 flights today on Sundays, and the next flight will be in an hour or so.
Christening. I think you need a bigger lens.
Which camera it is?
Canon.
Canon.
I would tell you said we needed 75.
I got 70 to 35.
Oh, sorry.
70 to 35 lens. Do you want to look at how close you can go? Yeah. Just stand here and just. Don't worry, don't worry. Just put it on here. Yeah. More if you want. Don't worry. Yeah. You can have more. No? You see?
What? That is so close now. Jeez. Such a good camera that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The operator started over the screen. But it's really just down to Logan Air now. And I'm very, very small amounts of route. Logan Air never transit to the ATR aircraft. And it's not too distant. It's not going to speed of 145 or very much longer, right?
What? Is he saying he's not all the way down the air? Is that what he's saying?
And you remember that I will be coming out, I'm not sure in a bit, have a quick chat. Sorry about that, Steve's in the middle of all that. If you've got a captain, they've got an aeroplane, please also pick me through that. I've got a captain when I went on here, we involved the kids who've got their aeroplanes. You can see what it was up on the captain already. I'll just keep it moving. Much along. We'll be talking about kids with their aeroplanes.
want to see this. Like, but like the car park's like,
Yes, quite a few people left after that. So, you go and leave after it takes up.
what time is it now? What time are we heading back now?
We need to be back. We need to leave about 1:30.
Oh yeah. Well, like linking to the island.
If you link it to the phone, not phone, then you can link that phone to the iPad and like
Oh yeah, Edge.
The thing is, I should have imagined the time be transferred. It might lose a bit of resolution or whatever.
And it'll be better to see what my photos like in the house because it's pretty light out.
Well, you can't. With this light, it's not. And the size of them, you know, you just get a general idea of what they look like.
I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, no.
It's like looking at you right now.
What size lens is that?
Mentioned the EGCC flight earlier came in from Aberdeen.
Yeah.
This loaded ATR now on its way to the flight LM2. I have to say, flight number takes about an hour.
Because you don't need a bigger.
What did you say it was
75 to 350. If you buy like those,
Very
that's for
close flight
600.
with a high wing and the large.
Even now, if you take a picture, plane will be too close. So close, because it starts from 200.
They're halfway down the line, generally turn right. Direct to Newquay, so coast out to Swansea, and you get an excellent view of the North Cornish coast as you go towards Newquay. That's what the used to call technology, which is doing RBS space, but we are still have a presence there. So if you're looking for a nice flight door, a couple of days there in Newquay, very nice airline. EasyJet also operates on routes in the south, as Logan operates the full year round.
Difference in lens. I mean, some of these big lenses to get together.
Yeah, there's on YouTube, there's one that's like 3,000. Like you can get a really good photo if you can all the way like 30,000.
That's the question. How often do you want to do that?
How many
Set up YouTube.
He's live streaming.
What?
He's live streaming right now.
All right. Yeah. I'm deaf.
Oh, okay.
I bet you.
What do you want?
Let me thought.
And departing straight after it, because it's a slash aircraft going, we call with no traffic group 4 aircraft, followed by group 3 aircraft, depart quickly behind it, and that aircraft is the ATR, the turboprop, on its way back to Belfast Harbour by PI 2613.
Just Google SkyJet.
Oh,
Yeah.
So the two ATRs in the system, there's one just crossing into the harbour, and the other one to the left of it, just taxiing out, taxiway Juliet, is right EI 33232 Dublin. That's two routes and they're just reaching to Amsterdam. One to the crossers are operated by British registered ATRs, and then the Dublin ones are operated same company, but they are registered in the Republic of Ireland. One thing we should notice shortly, we're using single runway operations since 9:30 this morning at 1 o'clock local, which is in 10 minutes time. We should open runway 2 and up to 8 o'clock this evening, that's the next 7 hours. Aircraft will be departing off the far runway and landing on the closer runway. So we just had a call out with a lost child, age 7. Not sure if he's lost or just gone walkabout, but Hunter, your name Hunter and you're 7 years old. Can you just go back to the picnic table you were at before, just to reassure your friends and relatives you are out and about? So that's Hunter, age 7. If you can return to the table that your family are on. Thanks. We said there's 2 Orlando flights today with Virgin Atlantic. We saw one depart about 20 minutes ago, the A350. Another A350 has landed. This aircraft actually from Edinburgh, so it won't have any passengers on. The reason it's come from Edinburgh, in the summer, Virgin Atlantic operates an Orlando flight out of Edinburgh. But because they don't have a base there, like Heathrow and Manchester, their 2 bases, they have to fly an aircraft up there. This aircraft actually went up to Edinburgh from Manchester on the 8th of August, which was actually yesterday. It then departed Edinburgh to Orlando yesterday morning. Overnight, it flew back from Orlando to Edinburgh, and now it's come down the short hop from Edinburgh just to find some no passengers, and it will do a quick turnaround because it's empty, you don't have to get passengers on, fill it full of fuel, and it will depart as Virgin 75 to Orlando, and then it will come back to Manchester tomorrow morning. Just departed a small aircraft, relatively small, just 1 engine. That's the only airline that's actually officially based at Manchester. It's called Silver Aviation, operated by a company called 247 Aviation. It is a piloted PT-12 aircraft made in Switzerland, only got one engine, but they are very reliable, so they can actually fly passengers around. And it's on its way to Deauville in France. Just landed from Almeria is another Ryanair 737. This is Ryanair 9059. Okay, I said a little bit earlier that I was leaving out the boxes to see what you want to discount out, etc. I'm not going to do this, so I'm not allowed. So I'm going to stop on the point of application. And then if you're up on the bound there, you want to shout out, I'm all in there. See you later.
Thank you, by the way.
Goodbye.
We've got somebody already starting the ball rolling. Went all the way from the crew, which is not exactly the longest trip, but hopefully we'll find someone with a much longer trip than that. But that's Leo and Harry Cooper, two are big in capitals, big fans of all the aircraft. So have a lovely day here at the RV, Leo and Harry. If you want to shout out, I'm now on the mound, just give me a wave and I'll be able to see you. In the meantime, back to Chris. Just landed from the Croatian city of Brooklyn. Only Yugoslavia. The Takeoffs Chewy flight 2771, a 737. Taking care of 46, the flight from Dubrovnik. And if you notice, the EGCC to the left of us is holding your taxiway kappa. And that looks like it's going to be the departure off the runway 23 left, probably 1300 opening to runway 2. Just departing one of those two ATR finishes off, just if you don't go to Dublin. Okay, here we go with some more shout outs from people up here on the mountain. It's quite a lot of people up here today. It's quite warm. Didn't realise how it was in our air-conditioned little bubble up there. But this one's for Chloe, Rowan, and Mara. All going to their first plane next week. I think it was. I've just put next in my notes. Next week, they're going to Switzerland. They're going via Frankfurt on Lufthansa. So that means they have two planes. So that's not bad as a start. So that's from Mummerton all the way from Ormskirk. Following on from that, we've got another one for Carl Whittaker, whose birthday is today. He's not quite managed to get to the big birthday, because he's 59. They just look plain, they'll pick it out with the radio, they're not something else, and that's from Sandra, quote, his loving wife. If you want me, just stop me, wave at me, whatever you want to do. Don't have the water back to take and throw food at the hill. That's not a good way to do it. Unfortunately, no. The oldest airline in the world was formed in 1990. Is KLM. Flight that just landed is inbound from main airport in Holland and Amsterdam. Flight KLM 1032. Operated today by an 190. KLM set quite a few records. 1938 went to airport open just before the Aviation Second War, and the first international service was with KLM, the EGCC to Amsterdam, which carried some nice waves from the front there, actually opened the window, but it turned out to wave hello. Ten oldest airlines in the world, number one, KLM, same year, Aviation in South America. Australia, Qantas is number 3, the Soviet airline now is number 4. An airline that no longer exists, as far as I'm aware, is CSA, and that was from Czechoslovakia. Finnair number 6, Delta Airlines in the States number 7. Air Serbia number 8, the Spanish airline number 9. And big 2 years, but number 10 is British Airways. They were founded in 1919, but at the outbreak of the Second World War, all the airlines were nationalised, and the private companies that was British Airways became part of BEA and BOAC, and it only came back into existence in 1974 when those two companies merged to form British Airways. So EGCC will open up shortly. We don't get quite as good a view as with the department contractors that we do. So that first aircraft is on its way to Amsterdam. That's EasyJet. Amsterdam served by KLM. We've got several flights today. EasyJet, less flights. KLM, everyone, most people will be going through their hub. KLM stopping Amsterdam and going onwards. Nearly everyone on board the EasyJet soon will be just going from Amsterdam, either on holiday or business. The business jet, number 2, the EasyJet, is a hot fish transport with on its way to Norfolk, which is an RAF station north of Heathrow, a military airport. The Ryanair, the first of the 2 Ryanair on the south side is going to Brussels Talwar, so we'll get a bit more about that in a moment, and the second Ryanair is on its way to Genoa in Italy. Okay, have we got anybody else on the mount who wants to shout out? I've got a couple to do in a minute, but if there's anybody else here, are you all looking away from me? It's one of those situations. There is avoiding eye contact with me up here. So we've got one for Matt, who's brought his grandson ready for his very first visit to the runway business park. So, Freddie, I hope you're having a good time and you want to come back. I'm not exactly sure where you've got, and the lady who spoke to me didn't want to get involved. On to the business lady, Josie Bennett. Now, Josie, at the moment, you have most definitely got the award for service because you've come all the way from Simpleton to Lisbon. And you're having to stop to be updated in the family, so it's not quite just a day trip, and that's brought you down.
Well, we've got loads of airlines just now on both on the second runway as well, so we've got aircraft across on the side for departures to the right hand. We'll keep on going. We're going to walk down here towards the center line, towards the left hand side of the top of the box. So if you want to grab hold of it, please do so. We'll send the kids over to have a chat. Sometimes I'll let the kids go on the mic. They're not like this there, so they shouldn't, of course. In the meantime, we've got a shout out for Stanley and Cora, who are here from Barnsley. I have to say, Stanley and Cora, I'm not really sure what competition it's about, but I know that you're winning, so that's the main thing. You're beating that, which clearly is the best thing that you need to do. They're here because next week they're going to go, I think it's next week, they're going to go to Pagada. So they want to get here and get excited, because apparently it's worked, so that's great, I'll come back again. Aircraft protecting in front of us is Welling or Wheeling, whichever way you want to pronounce it. Spanish airline, second, in fact it's the largest airline now in Spain, bigger than the national airline Iberia, but it is owned by Iberia, World Airline Group, who owns both Iberia and Wheeling, also own British Airways and Aer Lingus. This flight has come from Barcelona, takes 1 hour 56. And it is a 17-year-old Airbus A320. So back on the south side, just departing is Ryanair flight 4052 to Faro. In Portugal, the Ryanair that's holding, just lighting up, is on its way to Brussels Shoal. I'll tell you about that in a moment. And the ATR behind it is flight EI 33252 to Dublin. So, there are the Ryanair departing to Brussels with 2
airports is Brussels' main international airport, that's 8 miles northeast of Brussels. That's the main airport in Belgium. Even though it's the capital of Belgium, it's not that busy an airport, relatively 24 million passengers, so it's actually quieter than Manchester. It's home to Brussels Airlines, the main national airline in Belgium. They also fly to Brussels main airport from Manchester. Home to TUI Fly, it's the Belgium equivalent of TUI. And Brussels Charleroi is a secondary airport that Ryanair operates out of. They don't operate out of the main airport in Brussels. Charleroi is 13 miles south of Brussels. It was a very quiet airport for years, just had the occasional flight to Spain, but it was in 1997. Ryanair opened its first continental base on mainland Europe, and since then, Ryanair has operated more aircraft have a base there. The biggest destinations from Charleroi to Bucharest, Tirana, Bergamo in Milan. And they almost operate a shuttle service from New York in the summer. It's Ryanair, this is landing Ryanair flight 104 from Palma to New York, which is one of Ryanair's oldest 17 years of age. Just there's a lot of people looking for something downtown, but while I'm here, James, just a reminder, if you want to have an event, I'm the bloke in the hat with the right red top. And to give away, he's holding this microphone now. So if you do want a shout out, please step on the link and let me know. But looking like we've got a bit of a count. Gonna make a couple of codes, so I'll try and get these shout outs done before that aircraft gets anywhere near, and can come back to Chris for that. So, first one is for Sam from Worthington, who's absolutely loves planes, but he's got a, because that's not come to the runway this class, he's got a goalkeeping training camp tomorrow. So you never know, Sam from Worthington might be the next England goalkeeper, who knows? So let's come to say, for that, and it's from Long Lindsay. Also got Oscar Swinsko, who's lots of shout out for himself. I'm not surprised, given that he's come to the airport twice in one day, which sounds surprising. But actually what happened was he arrived back from Larnaca this morning at 3 a.m. He said it was jet 2. Some of his had to sleep all night, he looked quite awake, but now he's come back to the runway business bar. He's actually come to his girlfriend from Hampshire, so have a lovely day here, Oscar. Last week we got the Bay at Alfie Cronin, who's come not a long distance, but it's from Skelmersdale. First time, because it's a bit of an introduction to aircraft, because they're going to go on holiday on the 14th. So if you've got any shout outs, please do let me know. And I know the lady who's waving at me fancy, so I better go and do that before I get told off. I'll hand back to Chris, so it's not just on very short time. Aircraft is another aircraft from Gabriel was based aircraft come from Romania from the capital to this aircraft started this morning in Manchester, it's flown to Bucharest and back. Next flight it will go off to Knock, and that is the place critical. Now it's Poland, this aircraft is a 4-year-old 737 MAX. At the moment, they see the Manchester. Actually, if you look closely where it taxis by, it's got the Maltese flag on. That's because it's registered. The Poland part of the Polish part of the Ryanair holding this group. Although the fact that it's registered in Malta doesn't mean it operates in Malta. It does operate all over Europe. bit about the lights of the aircraft. Good view now. You see the white light. It's a landing light. So switch that off to the soft taxiway. You can see a red light on the wingtip on the port side. There's a green one on the starboard side. There's a red flashing light on the top of the fuselage, bottom fuselage bay called a collision light. You might have noticed a white flashing light on the wingtip. That's called the collision light. That switches off when the aircraft leaves the runway. And all aircraft have very similar lights, so pilots when they see them at night, they know relatively when the aircraft is in relation to their position. So you don't know what will happen with the ship, and that's very handy. Don't have to see the jet, so you're a bit on guard, you may be have to fit this. So anybody else want to check out? What about you guys under the tent? Keep it a little bit cooler. So everybody's looking away. Yeah, those people are on high. So you want to shout out under the tent? Otherwise I can keep walking in the opposite direction. And if you look at the aircraft just running, I thought we had to go around there. It touched down quite late in what's called floats, where the aircraft moves slightly faster or gets just a wind. And one of the other things that mentioned, when aircraft touch down onto the right, if you don't touch down in the right place, the runway then drops away from you, floats away through the downhill slope, and it sometimes makes the landing quite tricky. Aircraft that just landed is an airline called Provident Airlines, and the low-cost Turkish carrier has come from Provident Base, which is the Turkish city of Antalya. Yeah, more Antalya. It's a very, very busy destination for Manchester. Oh, I think somebody's coming to me now. Okay. Here we go. What's your name? Carla. Carla. Skyline, that's exciting, right? That's nice. So what are you here for, Skyline? Well, there's a good place to come if you come for planes, but it's the runway business park. And who have you brought with you? So your sister's been a bit shy, she's not wanting to talk to me. Oh, she did the play area. Okay, sister smaller? Oh, right, okay. So what's your favourite plane like, Skyline? The A380? Okay, did you see it come in? You did? So you're waiting for it to go out as well then, are you? Did you give the pallet away when it came in? Why not? You were a shy, weren't you? They're very good, they often wave back, so give a good wave to people and they might wave back. Okay? So that's Skylar giving her own shout out. I thought we'd do that. She looked an honest person and what's going to say to each other. Have a lovely rest of the day. Okay, I'm moving down just past the cafe now, towards the area where the RJX is and the play area. If you really, really do want to shout out, and you're a little bit further down the climbing play down the plane, if you like, my radio mic just actually, I'll see you later. Sir, the person that's waving, you will have to come a little bit closer towards that aeroplane because my radio mic can reach that. So I'll be making my way down, but when you get a little bit closer, towards me, just on the phone page on this page down is the Jet 737. That was inbound from Parma. I'll tell you a bit more about Parma. You can notice here helicopter low level. That is actually the Helimed helicopter that is based Spartan, Manchester. That's a call during daylight hours. If there's medical emergency that needs someone overseas, it will get airborne from Boston and go on the route. Just tracking off to the southeast. When I worked in air traffic at weekends, it often got airborne from Boston, headed off towards Maxfield, quite a famous road there. That's the name of the pub on the road. It goes over towards Buxton, the road, and it was well known for motorbikes to go very fast down there, race along it. and often there were very bad accidents where the motorcyclist was very badly injured, and the helicopter often reached there to pick up motorcyclists to take them off to one of the Manchester hospitals or the Mansfield hospital. Another couple of shout-outs, firstly for the Thompson family, and they're all here to meet their grandchildren on the flight from Mallorca. Just wanted to be, you were listening earlier on, I talked to you about the EGCC, now how there weren't very many girls here at Manchester with the air transport that I was talking about, and that later on we'll be some more in the sort of delivery of Jet 2. I won't give you too much detail about that, but they are actually 200, and one of those flights will be coming from Palma de Mallorca with the Auckland grandchildren on them. So you'll all know when that arrives and when one of them tells you that aircraft has arrived from Palma. Just in case, it will be soon, the other one will arrive from Palma. Another very exciting person just come running to tell me he's going to Turkey in 2 weeks. On Wednesday. This is Piers, I'm back now, and he's made it Dominic. So Dominic, have a lovely time and I'll tell you when you go. Have we got anybody else who is looking for a quick shout out? As I said, I'm getting closer to the limit of the radio property. I'm going to keep walking until I think it's the end of the line. So it's just a bit fun. Normally around the slightly down. There we go. That's as far as I'm going. There was a gentleman who was waving at me, who seems to have disappeared now. I'll stick around for a very short. Oh, there it is. This is the person coming in. Okay. Now then, little one. What's your name? That was a bit quick. Tyler Ray. That's a really good name. That's Skyler and Tyler Ray. That's fantastic. Okay, Tyler Ray. What you come to the way this depart for? Going, well, that's not the reason, that might be the reason why going to Egypt, wasn't it, in 6 days' time? 3 weeks' time. Okay. We'll have a really good time there. Are you all going? That's yeah. Okay. Are you looking forward to it? Okay. We'll have a lovely rest of the day here in the Island with it. Well, thank you as well. Second biggest aircraft you'll see today is Manchester after the Emirates A380, 3 Emirates A380s that operate the morning lunch. The evening flight is an flight from the Middle East to Doha. It just arrived from Doha. It's on Airways flight QR27. This is a Boeing 777 300. This aircraft has 24 premium business class seats and 388 economy seats, so that's over 400 people can fit on this experienced engine aircraft, which is one of the reasons the A380 finished production early in 2020, as we mentioned when it landed, because the A380 couldn't compete on long-haul routes with this 777 that carry 40 people, but it's much more fuel efficient just because it has 2 engines. These engines, the most powerful jet engines in the world. On this aircraft, they're GA90 engines that's made by the American firm General Electric, and these engines are actually more powerful than the 4 engines on the Airbus A380. The Qatar have a large fleet, not as large as Emirates, but still 260 planes, a mixture of long-haul and short-haul Boeing and Airbus. The largest number of aircraft are the 777. They have 93 of these 777s. They also have the 787, the Airbus A380, they have 7. They also have the Airbus A350, 60 of those, 5 Airbus person was supposed to Airbus A320. Okay, well, I have saved wrong with you. Hopefully, that's so. We have to think about it, but still, we've got a yes, which is the best thing. Are you flying anywhere soon? They've just come back from somewhere, so I'm saying it's hopefully going to tell me. It's got a mini mouse pack, so I'm not sure where that's a giveaway or not. The Yorker. The little bit shy, but you don't say it, so that's a course hands up, good clap for that. So, have a lovely rest of the day. Hello everybody, we do a little silly thing. So people with aeroplanes, I'm just pointing to somebody now. People with aeroplanes, if you want to follow me, we're going to do a little dance with an aeroplane. So, anybody, any kids with aeroplanes? Parents, I couldn't think of the word then. Parents, admit you want to follow through as well. You might watch the video. So if you want to, you can find me, you can see me in the red top. Follow me, we're going to go in front of the commentary tower, that's where we're going to end up. You don't all need to come from. So if you've got a kid with an airplane, where's my microphone voice? If you want to find me, follow me, we'll go and do a silly thing in front of the commentary box. I'm going to keep going for a second, just to try to encourage people to follow me. So if you've got an airplane, I noticed there was a couple in front of the commentary box before, and I'm dragging another thing behind me as we speak. So we've got two desktops, people, you can easily find them. There must be more of you with aeroplanes. I don't think it's a little bit of fun. You get a little prize afterwards, just a postcard sticker and a massive round of applause from the rest of the class. It always has been. I don't expect to hear it different today. So who else have we got? Who's got an aeroplane with them today? Preferably attached to a child. That always works best. So I'm going to give people a few minutes just to collect up. I'm now in front of the commentary box. If you will come and join me with your aeroplane, that would be absolutely fantastic.
Do you know what it is?
Okay, just to update you on some of the aircraft we've missed. The Jet TV landed, that was a Airbus that came from Remis, flight 11930. Behind it was an EGCC from Gibraltar, that was their flight 2266. Next landing aircraft is not one of the four main carriers out mentioned, that's Ryanair, EasyJet, TUI, and Jet2. Something a bit different. They have one flight a day. They are increasing it to 2 flights a day on certain days. Egypt, an airline that's been going for years, pre-Second World War. National airline of Egypt, flight MS-81 from the capital of Cairo today. Operated by an Airbus A321 year, 3 years today. Quite well crewed. I'm not sure the same crew taking back from the fluid out, but the flights normally flights taken 4 hours 48 minutes. Very quiet. I don't need to be frustrated about landing well. You can hardly hear the engines as well.
Yeah. Hey, lovely. Yes. Hey. was basically saying that you're shopping somewhere expensive. And the video is just that.
Hey, we got Paul, got something else coming, I think, with an aeroplane. Are you coming to join in the flyby, sir? I'm screaming one hand aeroplane and the other flat top on pink trim. Are you going to come and join the flyby with us? Just please,
Not got it, so
I'm telling the whole part what you like, and you realise that. Okay, right. Oh, somebody's running. We'll wait for 30 seconds while this chap in a lovely Lancaster t-shirt joins us. It's always happens. We start off. Oh, even this is what happens. We start people joining. Right. Even though I've told a couple of people here already, we're going to tell everybody now through the rest of the park. We're going to protect this area in front of us. It's got even more now. It's better. This bit in front of us is the runway. So you've all been seeing the planes take off and land here at Manchester today, yes? That's what you come for? So we are going to take off. We're not going to actually let go of our airplanes, by the way. Just point this out. We're going to keep hold of our airplanes at all times. Lots of people with glasses and heads and things that might hurt you once we start throwing airplanes around. So we're going to keep hold of them. Use it. Good flying, some excellent flying going on in front here. Keep on coming round. We're going to go round